Hey, Stoney here with another Masters Series Mechabellum game. And this time we have Fen, also known as Red Hair, against Prince Baji, also known as Woot. Let's go. Alright, at the bottom here, we have Fen playing as an Amplified Specialist with Sledgehammers and Marksman, and Woot, in his usual Woot style, is going asymmetrical aggro with the Sledgehammers very close to the line. This is actually a variation of his typical style. Normally what I expect from Woot is actually a crawler not too far from the Sledgehammers, and then arc lights to support with the chaff clear. Woot doesn't quite care about losing the first round. He just needs to know where the positioning of the army is, and he is able to add pressure in the second round. Fen is known to be a very dynamic player. He has won a lot of games from the top players of Mechabellum. I think he is more of a defensive player rather than an aggro player, but after speaking some of the top players in the 201 server, they all agree that Fen can play aggro, can play tempo style play, but he just prefers to play standard. Alright, first round, it is very close. But it looks like there's going to be a bit of a distraction onto the tower here. We'll see. We still have a single marksman left over, and that is giving a lot of potential damage to Fen. Alright, getting to round 2 here. Missile Strike is probably a pretty good card. Improved Power Control System, if either of them wants to go Mustangs or Typhoons, is also a very good card. Alright, Woot here is a Sabertooth Specialist, so he might want to consider getting Improved Power Control, and indeed he did, and it's going to be the same item for Fen. Interesting. Alright. Already we see some tempo play here for our blue player with the Wasp. This is actually a quite common move from the 201 server at turn 2. If you're going to an asymmetrical headbutt, or just if your opponent is going to asymmetrical aggro, you can, I would say about 60% of the time, expect a Wasp and a Crawler getting into that tower. Alright, Woot is going to put a Sabertooth right here in the middle, serve as a big sponge, I think. I mean, we'll see. He is undecided on where that Sabertooth is going to go. If he puts on the side, then this is mostly just for a big cannon firepower into the tower. But if he puts in the middle, that's going to be a sponge, because these two Sledgehammers are going to focus onto the Sabertooth. Alright, it looks like Woot wants to commit into that ASIM aggro, adding even more crawlers on the side. So one of the pro tip is that if you want to put units all the way at the corner, you can, as long as you can protect it with the crawlers. The missile cannot actually get to that unit if you have crawlers or if you have chaff on the shallow flank. But look at this flank here. Great tempo play from our blue player. However, he is going to get another tower timing, and this tower timing is actually a little better because it can actually kill all the Sledgehammers as well as maybe some of the marksmen. Okay, so we got multiple tower timings happening in a short span of time. This battle is still going on. However, Woot does not have the AA. He has a few fans left over. Maybe it's enough with his Wasp. We'll see. It looks like it might just be enough. I'm not too sure. It depends if the Wasps are locking onto the Sabertooth, but at this moment, it looks like the Wasps are going to win. Alright, round 3, we got a unit drop. Fire Badger. Great on the line units here. Tarantula is also really fantastic on the line. All right, it's going to be Tarantulas for Fen and Fire Badger. And I'm surprised the Fire Badger is not going to be joining. Oh, there it is. I thought it was just going to commit to the other side. He actually got rid of the Sabertooth and instead adding the item onto a level 3 Fire Badger. Fire Badger is kind of like Mustangs in the sense that they don't do a lot of damage per tick, but they shoot extremely fast. So in this case, they shoot 10 times every second, dealing 142 damage per shot. So it's 1,420 damage per unit. Now, where did... Oh man, Woot is all over the place trying to position these Fire Badgers. Okay, so quite a lot of damage from these three guys. Great chaff clear, but at this point they're chaff clear and they can dispatch of their sledgehammers. They can kill sledgehammers if the two are shooting at it for about a second and a half, 2 seconds at most. So not too bad. We have level 2 Wasp with the item, and of course Crawler support getting into the tower. Fen really want to pressure this tower here. Now it is leveled up, but it looks like he might. Oh, there it is. We still got one Fire Badger left over. Let's see if we can get out of the tower debuff. We really need this Fire Badger to do the damage onto the sledgehammers, and just look at the damage. My goodness. Alright, tower being captured once again. I think it might make sense for Woot to either level up this other tower or simply start defending on the other side now that he knows his opponent is definitely putting pressure on it. Because the longer he can hold off on his tower, the more likely he's able to get his opponent's tower and hopefully wrap up the rest of the game. Alright, we got turn 4. Efficient Light is really good. Efficient Light requires, I believe, 7 units to break even. So it saves 50 for every small unit that you purchase, but it costs 300 plus the 50 that you wouldn't get if you skipped. So that's 350 cost, which means you need to build 7 units that are small in order to break even. On the 8th unit, you're starting to break even. Which on paper isn't significant, but if you think about it, if you take mass recruitment, that means you can do 3 units every turn, which means on the 3rd turn, you potentially can make your money back with 2 additional units. Not too shabby. And of course, small manufacturing works really well with additional deployment ability, because you don't have to spend a 50 every turn to unlock mass recruitment. Alright, it looks like Woot just simply refuses to deploy an army to defend his side, but instead, he's trying to flank his opponent. Now, there's not much unit at the bottom here. I mean, there's really just 2 squads of crawlers, and they're not even full squads running towards the flank. But I think what he's trying to do is to get to the tower. And it's so interesting that he actually broke off a pack of crawlers from the other side. And it's actually not working in Woot's favor, because these 3 Fire Badgers would have already arrived at the tower had they not turned and deal with these returning crawlers. Nevertheless, he did get tower. He did destroy his army here. He will have another tower. Maybe he'll use the tower to get rid of these tanks. It looks like he will. Alright, and now he will have to fight under his own debuff because his opponent is going to get his tower. So we'll see how well he does. He does have a lot of fangs on the ground, but his opponent also has Mustangs, so it is a little dicey. Alright, can the Phoenixes survive? Nope. So it's all up to these fangs. The Fire Badgers are quite tanky, so it looks like it's going to go okay for Mr. Woot here. All right. Woot's favorite unit. I'd be surprised if he didn't take Typhoon. There it is. And I'd be surprised if Fen didn't take Scorpion, knowing Woot's favorite unit is the Typhoon. He has the distance required to make a Scorpion play. He already has Tarantula, so in case he wants to double down into Tarantulas, he can. Scorpions are also really good into Fire Badgers, which is now level 4, and that's quite insane. Alright, no decision from Fen just yet. Woot, pick up the level 3 Typhoon, and this is going to be the defender on that side of the tower. This will be okay because most of his opponents use small units. Here they are. We have the Scorpions. However, the Scorpions would not be able to lock onto the Fire Badgers because of the Crawlers. And I didn't notice Wood actually took Scorching Fire on the Fire Badgers. So now these guys level 4, dealing about 3,000 damage every second. So for a level 2 Sledgehammer, a single Fire Badger could kill, I would say 2 Sledgehammers because of the splash of 9 meters every 2.5 seconds. That's pretty good, considering this is a purely chaff clear unit. Now, how well would it do into Scorpions? Now that is the question. Oh, he took range. Woot is cooking. He is trying to make aggro Fire Badgers work. That's very exciting because a very long time ago, I would say about 3 weeks after Fire Badger came out, it used to be my favorite unit. At the time, everybody was raving about Typhoons, you know, how versatile it is, how tanky it is. But for me, and I was like, you know what, Fire Badger is the bomb. I mean, it's super tanky. It has one of the highest HP per cost for a medium-sized 200 supply unit. It has great chaff clearing capabilities, much better than a Typhoon, and it has Ignite. So it potentially can deal with large units, specifically Scorpions. Now, of course, its big weakness is it has no shield break. It simply does not have the raw damage, but it can cause a lot of problems. Here's the additional deployment. I suspect both of them are going to take it because they already took the efficient light manufacturing. And look at this, level 5 Fire Badger. 3,780 damage per second per unit. That's pretty insane. Alright, no Ignite on his Fire Badgers, but they are mighty. And Woot is continuing to be extra annoying here. Now, one of the benefits of playing aggro is that you can be extra annoying at the flank. You actually have way more surface area that can put units down compared to your opponent. Because your opponent, as the defender, this entire square will be pulled towards the flank, right? And that means the only area that you can really play with into your opponent's main army is just this little rectangle. If you put stuff down here, there's also a risk that is being pulled all over to the side. So it's a little bit tricky on how you want to position your units. And with Woot's current position with the Fire Badgers, it's difficult to put chaff down either because these guys would just kill chaff in like half a second. All right, more chaff is coming down, and at the top here, Fen is trying for a cheeky flank, but guess what? There's already a missile here anticipating the cheeky flank. All right, Fire Badger doing Fire Badger things. And this guy actually already got the Scorpion, and that was amazing. And we also got a Scorpion on the other side, and now the Phoenixes are starting to work on the Tarantula. Very good. And in the front, man, we got a tower, and of course these level 5 Fire Badgers are now level 6. On the back here, we have Typhoons. So it's all the great rare units that is not something that we usually see, but I love it. I love Woot is trying something new here. The old Woot would just go straight into level 2 Typhoons. He would put like a bunch of level 2 Typhoons down, possibly take missile first and then shield, you know, just to have that alpha strike into the Scorpions. We got M-Core. It's great into a Typhoon as well as into a Fire Badger. We'll see what Woot puts those. But Fen here, you may want to consider, I don't know. I mean, probably M-Core, unless he's pivoting to Giants, but he already took the small unit manufacturing. M-Core is going to go on the level 2 Fire Badger. He wants to cause more problems in this corner. Wasp has been called all the way back here to defend against these Phoenixes. At this point, I expect Blue to sell this Typhoon. I mean, there's really nothing to defend now. Once, you'll be able to hold this part off. But we'll see. Typhoons do move at 9 meters per second, so they're slightly faster than your average marksman, which is 8 meters per second. So they can probably scoop their way down to the tower, but it will take a long time. And here's the problem with Fire Badgers in the corner as opposed to Typhoons, because you have nothing against these Wasps. But it's still good though. I mean, look at the damage on these guys. 514, 5,000 damage every second, every unit. I mean, at this rate, 3 Fire Badgers shooting at this Scorpion kills it in just over a second. That's insane. And fire is coming down here. Just non-stop aggression here from Mr. Woot. Alright, lights it up. And now let's work on the Scorpion. Look how fast the Scorpion dies. And this is just from a single Fire Badger. Level 3 Tarantula with the item. Don't stand a chance. And the Fire Badger's the cleansing fire. Still alive. Still getting damage done. And this guy just straight up ate a shot from the Scorpion. It was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Everything's okay. And now we got the level 4 Typhoons. And this should be enough to mop everything up here. Unless we have a really bad tower timing. Actually, no. We do have a level 2 Scorpion surviving. Oh, no tower timing there. We'll see. Oh, that hurts. So probably not. This Scorpion is going to take down this Typhoon. But we're extremely close round here. Woot must have been feeling sad here because he did use the oil on this turn. And you realistically want to win turns with oil. Orbital Jav is bad news for Mr. Woot because they can just drop it in the flank. But it looks like Fen did not take it, but instead decided to take the Rhino Assault. I wonder if Fen is going to use the Rhino Assault as an Orbital Jav because it's just cheaper. It does approximately not as much damage, but you don't need 70,000 damage to deal with the Fire Badger, which are like 12,000, right? So you can probably just drop a Rhino on it and it still explode. And for those of you who are new to this game, every time you have a Rhino drop or a ground unit drop, so we're talking Rhino, we're talking Vulcan, you can drop them directly on top of your opponent's units, and they will essentially trade HP until one of them dies. And there it is. Here's the Rhino Javelin coming down to the Fire Badgers as well as the Phoenixes, both of which have not a lot of HP. And here's what I was talking about the last turn. Woot's love for Typhoons. Putting down 3 level 2 Typhoons. He actually sold his big Typhoon because he no longer requires that much defense. So he's now reinforcing his front with Typhoons and shield. And also reinforcing them with charge shot Phoenixes just to deal with the big units a little bit faster. Alright. Great board here for both players, right? They're kind of covering all these angles, all these areas. I'm surprised for Fen, he did not take high explosive on the Tarantula just yet. I think he had a bit of an issue last turn just to deal with the chaff, but we'll see. Alright, the Rhino destroyed everything on that corner. Level 2 Typhoon is doing just fine holding down a fort here. And now let's see how well these charge shot Phoenixes do. Boom! There goes the level 3 Tarantula. But the Phoenixes, we really need them to get to the tower. Here we go. Here's the tower. One-shotting Tarantulas. Getting the mines. And in the endgame, it is extremely beneficial to have air units because your opponents may not have anti-air. And here it is. Level 3 Phoenixes, one-shotting Spiders, and maybe two-shotting these level 3 Scorpions. Alright, and the game is still going. Another Jav is now available. We're at turn 9. I think it makes sense just to take 200. You have so much money anyways. So take the Jav, get it going. I mean, if I were Fen, I would Jav like right here. We're going to get rid of this level 8 Fire Badger. I mean, each one of these guys at 47. That's insane. That's like how much HP for a fortress, and now it's got 3 of them. Jav is being added in here. That's actually quite clever. So Woot is jabbing these 2 units. I don't know why he's jabbing these 2 units. I think he just wants to get his the rest of his army over. But this is very interesting. If I were Woot, I probably would just jab like this cluster here. You get the marksman, you get some tanks, you also get the scorpion and the tarantula, right? But because he's jabbing this unit, and because Finfin expect him to jab this unit, it's actually moving these 2 units back. And in a double reverse psychology, Woot actually is going to probably get 4 units. He's going to get these 2. And he might actually get these 2. Well, actually, no, hold on. What is this? Oh, this is... I'm trying to figure out where is the pathing for this mobile beacon. Is this selecting the top 2? Is it the bottom 2? Is he just trying to move up and down? No, that can't be right? Like these guys, they're going to move up and you can expect them to get jabbed. I'm not sure. We're going to have to see when the game starts. For Finfin, he's going to jab the level 3 Typhoon along with a charged up Phoenix. I would say that's a pretty juicy missile. Woot has already sold out of this flank, knowing that the Scorpion is just way too big for these Fire Badgers to handle. And of course, the Phoenixes cannot really deal with the Wasp as well. All right, there we go. Where is it going? Oh, it's just these 2 units. That is so interesting. Okay, so Woot did not get 4 units because Finfin did not move the front units back. But why will Finfin move those units up and down? Was he scared of the charged out Phoenixes? He just want to get some late defense for the tower? I'm not entirely sure. All right, looking at the board here, Woot is being relentless. We still have level 8 Fire Badgers, and these guys simply refuse to die. I mean, there's just so much HP. They're taking multiple spider mines in the face. And just goes, yep, I'm okay, no problem. Now the real question here is, well, there's no anti-air for Woot, which means these wasps will kill everything on the ground. 1 charge shot Phoenix left over. Actually, no, never mind. There's 1 anti-air. There's the Typhoon. And the Typhoon is able to kill all these wasps. And now there's Finfin, who does not have anti-air. Wait, what shot? Freaking hell. This is so chaotic. I thought this marksman died a few seconds ago, but it turns out it was still alive and it was able to lock onto that final charge shot Phoenix. So my bad, there was just too much stuff going on and the round ended up going to Finfin. And we're getting to round 10 and this is the final unit drop of the game. Woot's going to take the level 3 Phantom Rays and they are going to... Woot has no tech on his Phantom Rays. All he has is armor and the shield. He doesn't even have cloak on his Phantom Rays. He must really hate this unit. And for Mr. Finfin, it's going to be a melter. I wonder if he bought the melter. I don't remember seeing the melter. We'll have to double check here. But he is getting the melting point. Melting point is okay into shielded Typhoons. Maybe getting into a multi-melter later. I'm not entirely sure what's the idea here. Taking shield onto these walls to just tank a few more shots from these charge shot Phoenixes. But right now the shield is kind of futile because of the high level Typhoons. They're just really good into this wasp here. More Scorpions, more Tarantulas, and it's just this whole line of mid-sized units. I think I'm going to give my points to Woot here. I'm not entirely sure if he is, if Finfin is sufficiently protected here. I mean, yes, he's got a lot of Scorpions, but I feel like these charge shot Phoenixes are just going to make short work of him. And I don't understand the play with the melting point. I think maybe he was just a little scared of the Phantom Rays. Maybe he was scared of some giant pivot. Maybe it was a surprise War Factory, but there's already so many Scorpions on the ground. Why there be War Factory? So I didn't quite get the melter play. The Scorpions I totally get. And it looks like Woot is pushing through. He's just got too much HP. But wait. We got through the front line, but can we get through the back line? We still have charge shot phoenixes left over. Is there going to be a great tower timing? We'll see. Okay, we did get his tower. We still have fire badgers left over. Fire badger is being targeted by these melting point. Excellent tower timing. It is a level 3 tower, however, which means the debuff is not very long. Mustang is being targeted by charge shot phoenixes, and now we're going to get to the second tower here with these level 3 phantom rays. Ooh, super close round here. No AA here for Mr. Fen, which means we will take this round, but again, not a huge round by any means. All right, we are going to go into round 11 between these two top players of Mechabellum. I think Haste module is pretty good, but because this is round 11, I'm going to have to go with Improved War Factory. Improved War Factory could be amazing for both players, really, but I would say in this case, probably more so for Fen than it is for Woot. But it looks like both are going to take the Haste module. And here's the multi-melter with the haste module dealing a ton of damage here. Oil is off cooldown once again, which means bye-bye chaff. Triple multi-melter here. Ooh, this is a huge swing round for Mr. Woot. Let's see if these multi-melters connect to the right units. He does have a ton of chaff here. He has almost a unbroken line of crawlers all the way to the back of his board. The tarantulas themselves, while plentiful, they do not have AG. But I think this is okay because he has so many tarantulas. He's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 backup, 8. There's so many freaking tarantulas. 9, 10, 11 freaking tarantulas. I think he's okay. He does not need HE. Alright, let's see. Mobile beacon straight to the tower. Lots of missiles. Woot is going for the win here. Multi-melter locking onto the Phantom Rays right away. That is a great situation because the Phantom Rays were the units that took the tower, but it looks like there's just too much chaff. But wait, the fire is actually working against Woot, but that is just too little too late here. I think this is it. And down goes the final multi-melter, and with just a single level 2 Scorpion left over and no anti-air whatsoever, this is going to be a game for Mr. Woot. Man, what a close game. All the way till the last second. All right. Now, if I were Fen, what would I do to change the outcome of this game? That's very tough. I mean, we know there's going to be oil down here, so I wonder if he's able to just push shields down. And that's going to allow all these Fangs to survive and providing tanking. I don't know. I mean, this is such a tough call. I mean, let's jump into it. Let's just give it a try and see if this works. All right, we're going to take the haste module. We're going to put this on a big melting point. We're going to take double tech, right? Just as intended. I don't think this wasp here is particularly useful anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it, get some money. We'll get 2 of you. We're going to put 1 of the items on you. All right. And we're going to put you down here. And now we're going to put the shields. Actually, we're going to put this wasp forward so that we can let the shield survive a little bit longer. At least until the fire is called down. Okay, so we got some money left over. We could get rid of you. We could get rid of you, get rid of you. We might even be able to do one of you. These wasps, I really don't need them in the back line, so let's put them in the front line here. Is there a way that we can get to tower a little faster? Maybe. So maybe we get rid of you. Or just take speed. So let's get to tower a little faster. We're going to push you. I'm going to push you in. Alright, let's see. Here's oil. Multi-melter locking onto the right units instantly. Tarantula's doing their best. Okay, multi-melter continues to work, but I feel like it's the super late arriving chaff that's going to be a problem here. We do have charge shot phoenixes, but the charge shot phoenixes all died. We still have melters left over. Oh, so that was the problem. And now this is going to be a win for Finfin. So really not having shield in the final round when you know there's going to be oil coming down was his biggest mistake. Like, he could have easily won this round with just selling the wasp here and putting down the item on a level 2 melting point and just shield up. Wow. All right. I hope you enjoyed this game. And if you like these kind of videos, please consider subscribing. I do post every single day. And if you want to see another video, here's one for you. And I will see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.